Well, at this hour, there are growing concerns over safety during the Winter Olympics in Sochi. Today, Russian President Putin signing a decree to beef up security at the Games, set to begin a little more than a month from now. All of this after 2 deadly bombings in southern Russia in recent weeks, and as an insurgent leader is calling on his followers to attack these very Games. But this is not the first time the Olympics has been a target. Does the Kremlin have what it takes to keep Sochi safe? Let's bring in retired Major General Bob Scales, a Fox News military analyst. And General, let me wish you a Happy New Year. Thank you for being here.
Thanks, and same to you, Jamie.
I appreciate that. Would you travel to these Games as a tourist?
No, I wouldn't. There's risk involved, as you know. I think the U.S. Olympic team is safe. I think the greatest danger will be to the traveling public, not so much in Sochi, but in surrounding areas, transportation hubs, airports, railroad stations, soft targets where the Chechen rebels have been very successful in the past in killing Russians. I mean, the Chechen rebels have been at war against Russia and the Soviet Union for hundreds of years. Remember 1994, 1999, Russia essentially flattened the city of Grozny. The guy in charge of that was Vladimir Putin. Over 5,000 Russian soldiers died, 100,000 Chechens. There's a lot of animosity among these rebels for Putin in particular, and an opportunity to have some sort of cosmic event during the Olympics is something that we need to be very concerned about, Jamie.
Obviously very tempting to a terrorist organization or individual lone wolf terrorist. So you don't believe Vladimir Putin when he says he'll put extra security in place that'll be sufficient?
There's a difference between extra and good. The Federal Security Services and the Ministry of Interior forces don't have a very good reputation for stopping terrorist events, certainly not in Moscow, certainly not in Volgograd and other places. There were 1,500 terrorist events in Chechnya right next door over the last 3 years. So, and the other thing is that, God forbid, if there's a hostage situation, the FSS has a reputation of killing more innocents than they kill bad guys. And the Chechens have had an opportunity now, 4 years, to plan this out. And who knows, the terrorist groups could already have embedded themselves in these different venues waiting for an opportunity to strike, Jamie.
Well, you're making it all seem so transparent. What was the Olympic Committee thinking? They must have evaluated these risks.
Well, of course, you know, the word on the street is that Mr. Putin really put pressure on the IOC to hold this venue here instead of in Austria, simply because he wanted to showcase this region, the Black Sea region of Russia. He wanted to increase his own standing in the international community, and as you know, in the past, one of the ways to do that is to host the Olympics. But I find it very strange that the IOC would put a venue within 15 minutes driving of 3 regions in Russia, South Ossetia, Chechnya, and Dagestan, all 3 of which have been harboring insurgencies for hundreds of years.
Yeah, I'm trying to figure out what role Ed Snowden will play. I mean, after that, should the U.S. have taken a stronger stand on participation?
I think so. I mean, who's to say? This is a free market economy. The Olympics are a place that people from all over the world love to visit, and they love the community that goes, particularly with the Winter Olympics. But you're right. Russia hasn't been very kind to the United States in the past a few months, and the idea of spending dollars and converting them into rubles at this late stage to me is not anything I would particularly enjoy.
So finally, General, what's your advice to folks who have spent a lot of money, saved up, planning this as their big trip of the year, if not their lifetime?
Well, be aware. Be aware that there are risks involved. Be aware that density of security in a particular venue is not necessarily an assurance of security. And be most aware of traveling through soft targets, places like railroad stations and airports where the insurgents are most likely to strike, Jamie.
All right, Major General Bob Scales, it's good to have you on this topic. We always think when these big events are coming up, what might happen. Let's hope nothing. Thank you so much.
Thank you.